Alright, hello everybody. We're just about ready to get started. Just testing that my audio is going through. Everything's going fine on the technical side. And with that, last week we were exploring AI Dungeon with just Sam. So we should continue doing that. Let me pop over to Multistream just so I can check if anybody from Facebook or YouTube comments. So, last time we left off, we went to talk to the manager, being the tentacled interplanar creature who granted us a tome of magic to get them off of this plane. So, with that, oh, I am getting notifications and bumping my pop filter a bunch. We last left off with you hear the creature in your head.
I'll help you, and in return, I think I have a friend. I want to come to your side.
And Sam laughs. You've got to be kidding me. But the creature simply smiled.
A deal is a deal.
Right. So, if we have any suggestions from the chat about where you want this to go, just let me know. I'm more than happy to play along with those. I haven't thought about this storyline since last time we left off, so let's see. Deal's a deal. At this point, Sam would probably be hit with enough interplanar, let's say Fey magics, or old one magics of some kind, to not be dying on the floor. So let's see. How do we make this accurate but sufficiently creepy for interplanar tentacled creatures? Sam feels a sudden rush of energy. The power of the tentacled creature. Sam feels a sudden rush of energy. The power of the tentacled creature. I mean, we could go with the classic. Floods their body and pushes their restorative abilities to the brink. So, Sam feels a sudden rush of energy. The power of the tentacled creature floods their body and pushes their restorative abilities to the brink. In front, no. They feel the wound bleeding stop and the wounds knit. It's not a gentle process, to put it delicately. So, let's see what the AI can do with that. just because I nitpick a little bit. In the mirror, it would be more like in their mind. Semi-humanoid? Oh, the game spelled appearance wrong. That's cute. You feel a sudden rush of energy. Wrong. It's Sam. Sam feels a sudden rush of energy. The power of the tentacle creature floods their body and pushes their restorative abilities to the brink. They feel the bleeding stop and the wounds knit. It's not a gentle process. The creature appears in their mind again, this time taking on a semi-humanoid appearance.
So, are we ready to go?
Sam shakes their head. I need a second. Sam takes a moment to catch their breath. And struggles to their feet against the cave wall. Oh, it's a little confused, but that's okay. The wounds from the fireball, or let's say blast of fire, you reach to the tentacle. Mind. Well, deal is a deal. But before we get to that, what should I call you? What's your name? Sam reaches out to the tentacle creature with their mind. Well, a deal is a deal, but before we get to that, what should I call you? What's your name?
You can call me what you want, but it's not important,
The creature says as he walks around Sam's mind.
So, the deal first.
Sam replies. Right to business, then. The deal is, you wanted me to bring a friend of yours through to this plane. Who and when? Are they gonna vague off this one too? Sam replies, right to business then. The deal is you wanted me to bring a friend of yours through to this plane. Who and when?
I want you to take my entire crew through. We've been trapped in this place for far too long. And it's not we, they.
That's a fairly large number. Do you have many, or are they just lazy? I mean, it's funny, it really is, but it doesn't quite reach where we're sitting at. They'd be more like, that's quite a request. Do you have many? And remember, if a deal is a deal, it's going to be one person, one per trade. You healed me, I let one through. 'Cause you gotta wheel and deal if people are wheeling and dealing you. Now, isn't that right? Sam waits in silence for the creature's reply. It comes after a few moments.
Fine. If all is fair, that's how it'll be. You can open the portal right where you are. When it comes through, it'll be fine on its own. No need for you to interact with it further.
Oh, the creature whispers. Almost whispers. Nah. We've gotta mess with it just a little bit. We don't need this. No. We are gonna go for Sam takes let's say hello, how's it going? Gaster 9976. So Sam takes the time to place the ritual components as perfectly as they can. Oh, I'm just hanging out with AI Dungeon. I played through last week and I'm just continuing that. Currently, the protagonist, Sam, is about to open a portal for a singular creature as part of a deal. And let's see. In just a few moments after finishing the spell, the portal opens. Aw, that's sweet of you. Thank you for following. It's fun just telling little stories every once in a while. Just a few moments after finish. I like to play a lot of different games, but so far this one is really good for a once a week vocal stretch and, you know, improv stretch too. In just a few moments after finishing a spell, the portal opens and a small almost deep sea like creature comes shooting through. It quickly whips down the hallway out of sight, followed by a large splash of water. It must have gone to the underground lake. Sam takes the time to place the ritual components as perfectly as they can. In just a few moments after finishing the spell, the portal opens and a small, almost deep sea-like creature comes shooting through. It quickly whips down the hallways out of sight, followed by a large splash of water. It must have gone to the underground lake. Sam quickly moves to gather up the components they used. You like my voice? It's nice and calming. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So the main ones I've used for the story so far, this is kind of my narration voice. For Sam, it's been now that's quite a request. Do you have many? And remember, if a deal is a deal, it's gonna be one per trade. You healed me, I let one through. And then the creature that they've been interacting with has been a little more monstrous, on the lines of,
Fine. If all is fair, that's how it'll be. You can open the portal right where you are. When it comes through, it'll be fine on its own. No need for you to interact with it further.
which might be a little less nice and calming. But Sam rushes to leave the area. With the bounty complete and a second deal struck, they'll need some time to rest. Sam rushes out of the mine shaft as fast as they can. Oh, I hope you have a great day too. Catch you later. I'll be doing this every Thursday at 6 Pacific time for about an hour. Sam rushes out of the mine shaft as fast as they can, eager to put a safe distance between themselves and the creature, or creatures, maybe. Sam has a thought. What if the creature can multiply? Well, that's not my problem anymore. Might be in the future, though. Uh-oh. Well, that's a thread to pull. Well, Sam solved the immediate crisis, and now it's time to think up plans for their future. A few days pass, and they hear of another mine cave in further south. Well, we definitely know that that's absolutely related to the creature. It's definitely multiplying. There's gonna be a lot more of them. And probably bigger too. So the question really is Sam the type of character to be like, I had a direct hand in making a mess just to survive. I need to go take care of that. Or is Sam the type of character who, how do we put it, would rather avoid interacting with what other people would call their responsibility? Because I'm sure. So let's see. How do we want to make the decision? Ooh. I've got it. Sam thumbs through the Tome of Magic. That... Nah. Looking for a scrying spell. With it, they investigate the cave-in from a distance. It's out of my league. Who's Mara? Who is Mara? No, it doesn't. Mara was the girl you saved from the pit. What? What pit? Okay. And more than a friend, apparently. So. How about Sam remembers Mara. Will it give me more? Okay, fine. Mara was the girl Sam saved from the pit. And more than a friend. But that's a story for another time. Sam travels to the town of Rostock, where they heard rumors of the cave-in. As they walk, Sam thinks of Mara. Arriving at the small village, they figure they'll spend some money here, since this seems like the sort of thing a traveler might do. Sam spreads coin around town, buying both supplies and information. Nobody's heard anything. Okay. Okay. Let's see. With no other... Sam has no other option but to investigate this cave-in themselves. Their self. You hire a local mine. What are they called? Mine crew captain. It's best I got. To guide you. Sam hires the local mine crew captain to guide them. To lead you through the minefields. Let's just call that mines and not explode. Sam has no other option but to investigate this cave-in themselves. They hire a local mine crew captain to guide them. Ben, the mine crew captain, is willing to lead them through the mines and show them the way. Well, Sam pays well, so he's willing to work. Okay. Let's call it Sam and Ben arrive. Oop. Sam and Ben arrive at the location of the cave-in. Sam arrives at the mine, and it's there they see a massive cave-in in progress. The rockfall is huge and blocks the tunnel completely. They gasp at the sight. Ask Ben, the mining captain, what's the safest place to move all of this rock? Sam looks to Ben, who shrugs and says the only safe bet is up or down. We look up at the rockfall and realize that there's a small ledge sticking out of the wall, about chest height. Well, that wouldn't really, like, look up and still be chest height. That doesn't make sense, but, Sam opens the book again and looks for a spell. Levitating the rocks out of the way. This really does go circular, doesn't it? Like, it has good prompts back and forth, but you really have to lead the AI in this, which is totally fine. So, Sam finds the spell with a few words and the application of their will. They start shifting the rocks to clear the tunnels. It works. They're really doing it. Fantastic. Sam takes several hours, but eventually opens the tunnels again. Sam takes several hours, but eventually opens the tunnels again. Okay, so the tunnels are open, but they're still a long way from finished. It's mid-afternoon by the time they finish removing the last boulder blocking them. Sam searches the tunnels for any sign of survivors. Why would I be looking for Mara here? Apparently, okay. Let's say Mara used to live in this town. I guess Mara's in the tunnels. Sure. From way up here. Where is it? Where is it? She's not. I mean, I guess we'll go. I'll guess we'll go with it. Sam doesn't hear a reply beyond the echo of their own voice. Sam starts walking again, calling out, "Mara! Mara!" They walk for some time, but there's no answer. They start to feel very nervous. What if she didn't survive? Sam continues exploring the tunnels deeper and deeper until they come to you continue exploring the tunnels deeper and deeper until you're exhausted and aim to return to the surface. Story beats are weird, but it's fine. We're yes-anding. You continue exploring the tunnels deeper and deeper until you're exhausted and aim to return to the surface. The thought that Mara might be dead keeps pushing Sam forward, but it doesn't help much since their energy is also depleted. Sam leaves the caves, They walk out and a cool breeze hits their face. They can feel the sweat drip down their back. They need rest. They're done for now. So they return to the inn. They walk inside and a voice calls out. Hey, it's me. You're back. Sam turns and sees Mara walking towards them. Sam replies, "You're here? I thought you were trapped in the caves." In the cave-in. You're here? I thought you were trapped in the cave-in I cleared. That's a statement, not a question. The rocks didn't completely bury the pass through the cave, so I managed to dig my way through. Thanks for getting rid of those boulders. You're pretty strong now. You're welcome. Not quite. It's the Virginia Tidewater. You're welcome. There it is. Thanks for getting rid of those boulders. You're pretty strong now. You're very welcome. Pretty close. It's a little difficult to jump between voice to voice, but we'll get there. It's all in practice. You offer to buy Mara a drink and chat. Sam offers to buy Mara a drink and chat. Thanks to an interruption by a wandering merchant, you and Mara chat for quite a while. So, I mean, if we're taking that, we'd be like, it'd be something like, you chat for a while. As you find a hidden corner, a traveling merchant happens to come by and loudly offer some appealing services and goods to the locals. Most of the inn's bar clears outside to rummage through his wares. Thanks to this interruption, Sam and Mara chat for quite a while. Sam buys Mara a drink and the two of them chat for a while. As they find a hidden corner, a traveling merchant happens to come by and loudly offer some appealing services and goods to the locals. Most of the inn's bar clears outside to rummage through his wares. Thanks to this interruption, Sam and Mara chat for quite a while. And Mara catch up on old times before eventually talking about the cave-in. Sam and Mara catch up on each other's lives. Sam finds out that they've both moved on, and Mara is now married. Mara looks anxious and concerned, and asks if Sam's okay. Sam replies, "I'm fine. Glad that you're safe from that wreck of a man, and happy that you have a life to return to." "Same here. Hey, you still play that thing?" Mara asks, pointing to your mandolin. "Since when do we have a mandolin? This is... okay, we play the mandolin now." "Yeah, sure." Sam spends the rest of the night playing the mandolin for Mara before you both go your separate... I always spell separate wrong. Separate ways and head to sleep. Okay. Hi, Em. No worries. Things are going well. It's good to hear from you. Do you want me to catch you up on how far we've gone so far? Okay. So, last time we left off, it was a deal is a deal. Right here. So we're going to start there. You hear the creature in your head. Sam hears the creature in their head.
"I'll help you, and in return, I think I have a friend. I want to come over to your side."
Sam laughs. "You've... what you mean, Tidewater? The Tidewater voice is right here. It's... you've got to be kidding me." The creature simply smiles.
"A deal is a deal."
Sam feels a sudden rush of energy. The power of the tentacled creature floods their body and pushes their restorative abilities to the brink. They feel the bleeding stop and the wounds knit, and it's not a gentle process. The creature appears in their mind again, this time taking on an almost humanoid appearance.
"So, are we ready to go?"
Sam shakes their head. "I need a second." Sam takes a moment to catch their breath and struggles to their feet against the cave wall. The wounds from the blast of fire will take time to heal, and they don't know how to get any more healing energy to their form. Sit down against one of the mining carts, trying to rest. Sam reaches out to the tentacle creature with their mind. "Well, a deal is a deal, but before we get to that, what should I call you? What's your name?"
"You can call me what you want, but it's not important,"
the creature says as he walks around Sam's mind.
"So, you want the deal first?"
Sam replies, "Well, right to business then. The deal is, you wanted me to bring a friend of yours through to this plane. Who and when?"
"I want you to take my entire crew through. They've been trapped in this place for far too long."
Now, that's quite a request. Do you have many on your crew? And remember, if a deal is a deal, it's going to be one per trade. You healed me, I let one through. Sam waits in silence for the creature's reply, and it comes after a few moments.
Fine. If all is fair, that's how it'll be. You can open the portal right where you are. When it comes through, it'll be fine on its own. No need for you to interact with it further.
The creature almost whispers. You vote for me to name the creature Elmer? Okay. Elmer it is. Sam takes the time to place the ritual components as perfectly as they can, and in just a few moments after finishing the spell, the portal opens and a small, almost deep sea-like creature comes shooting through. It quickly whips down the hallways out of sight, followed by a large splash of water. It must have gone to the underground lake. Sam quickly gathers up the components that they used. They rush to leave the area. With the bounty complete and a second deal struck, they're gonna need some time to rest. They rush out of the mine shaft as fast as they can, eager to put a safe distance between themselves and the creature, or creatures. Sam has a thought. What if the creature can multiply? Well, that's not my problem anymore. Might be in the future, though. And, well, Sam has solved the immediate crisis and has some time to think up plans for the future. A few days pass, and they hear of another mine cave-in, this time further south. Sam thumbs through the Tome of Magic looking for a scrying spell. With it, they could investigate the cave-in from a distance, and they find the spell. It's scrying, simple. The art of watching someone or something from afar. It's marked as useful for spying, but it really seems out of their league, and rather, out of their league and Mara's. I should think about who Mara is, and if it's a deep sea creature, better get some dope mermaid powers. I would love mermaid powers. Also, hi, Funny Jake. Sam thinks of Mara as they walk, and they arrive at a small village, and figure they'll be spending some of their money here, since this seems like the sort of thing a traveler might do. Me as a book reader, I would like to be. I just finished building a vocal booth, and I want to make audiobooks. So this is very good practice for me. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's come from a long time of playing D&D as the DM. So, later on, there's a small twist. So what we would add here is Sam thinks of Mara as... so I can't adjust things earlier up. Good to know. Oh no, I can hear it. You remember that she lived in the village you're headed to. See, this ties in the thing that the AI dungeon brought in later. So I'm fixing it now so I don't have to later. Alright. Sam thinks about who Mara is. Mara's the girl that they saved from the pit and was more than a friend. But apparently that's a story for another time. Sam travels to the town of Rostock, where they heard rumors of the cave-in. They think of Mara as they walk and remember that she lived in the village that they're headed to. Sam arrives there and figures they'll be spending some of the money here, since it's the sort of a thing a traveler might do. So they spread coin through the town, aiming to buy both supplies and information. Sam inquires about any new mining operations, but nobody's really heard anything. Sam has no other option but to investigate this cave-in themselves. They hire a local mine crew captain to guide them. Ben, his name is. He'll lead them through the mines and show Sam the way, but they pay well, so he's willing to work. Sam and Ben arrive at the location of the cave-in and see that there's a massive rockfall in progress. The boulders are huge and block the tunnel completely and make Sam gasp at the sight. I ask Ben, what's the safest place to move all this rock? Who shrugs and says the only safe bet here is up or down. Sam looks at the rock fall and realizes there's a small ledge sticking out about chest height. So, those boulders are the size of boulders. Yes, they are, Em. A story for another time. We will get to Mara. Sam opens the leather-bound book once more and searches for the right spell. They know the one they need is probably in there somewhere, and... See, this didn't make sense, because there was no professor collecting spells, so we don't need this. Gone. Unnecessary. In there somewhere. After some time, Sam finds the spell, and with a few words and the application of their will, starts shifting rocks to clear their tunnels, levitating them out of the way, and it works. For several hours, Sam works at this, sweat dripping down their face. Eventually, the tunnels are open again. It's mid-afternoon by the time Sam finishes removing the last boulder. They search the tunnel for signs of survivors, continuing down, but it's dark enough that they can't see the walls for a long way. Sam stops in the middle of the tunnel and calls out, Mara, are you there? Sam doesn't hear a reply beyond the echo of their own voice, but they start walking again, calling out, Mara! Mara! They walk for some time, but there's no answer. And Sam starts to feel very nervous. What if she didn't survive? Sam continues exploring the tunnels deeper and deeper until they're exhausted and aim to return to the surface. The thought that Mara might be dead keeps pushing them forward, but it doesn't help much since their energy is so depleted. Sam eventually leaves the caves, walking out, and a cool breeze hits their face. Sam can feel the sweat dripping down their back. They need rest. They're done for now. Eventually, Sam returns to the inn, walks in, and a voice calls out, Hey, it's me, you're back. Sam turns and sees Mara walking towards them. They reply, You're here? I thought you were trapped in the cave-in I cleared. The rocks didn't completely bury the path through the cave, dear, so I managed to dig my way through. But, thanks for getting rid of those boulders. You're pretty strong now. You're welcome. Why don't I buy you a drink, Mara? We can have a chat. And Sam proceeds to buy Mara a drink, and the two of them talk for a while. As they find a hidden corner, a traveling merchant happens to come by and loudly offers some appealing services and goods to the locals. So most of the inn's bar clears outside to rummage through his wares, and thanks to this interruption, Sam and Mara get the chance to chat for quite a long time and catch up on old times before eventually talking about the cave-in. They learn that while they both have moved on in their lives, that Mara's the only one who's married now. She looks a little anxious and concerned, and, are you okay, Sam? I'm fine. I'm glad that you're safe from that wreck of a mine, and happy that you have a life to return to. Same thing. Hey, you still play that thing? Mara asked, pointing at Sam's mandolin that only just appeared in the narrative just now. Yeah, sure, Sam replies, and Sam spends the rest of the night playing the mandolin. Sorry. Sam spends the rest of the night playing the mandolin for Mara before they both go their separate ways and head to sleep. When Mara gets quiet and you're both done talking about old times and catching up on life. And now we're caught up. fine Dwarven crafts, fresh from Orzammar? Is that what it is? I never played Dragon Age, but I know that's a Dragon Age reference. You're very welcome, Em. Orzammar. And with Dragon Age, they're probably sticking to like the stereotypical like Upper Scottish accents, so more like a fine Dwarven crafts straight from Orzammar or something like that, probably, right? They sound mostly American. Ooh. So the American that's kind of like the what about like the Upper Boston accent is almost like this. I think Spike Siegel, but older and more brusque. Now that's a good thing to see. Who is Spike Siegel? I'm not sure. Spiegel? Oh, Cowboy Bebop. Gotcha. Spike Siegel, most famous Cowboy Bebop line. Whatever happens, happens. Give me video. And whatever happens, happens. Spike Spiegel video.
Doohan, you saved my ass.
Not yet.
Huh?
Doohan, you saved my ass.
Doohan.
Doohan, you saved my ass. So kind of like right in the middle, isn't really caring about anything, just needs his cigarette kinda. I'm tired of all this bullshit kind of voice. And I know this isn't Spike's voice. It's just a reference, if you will. Yeah. A youthful tone, but with a rumbly timbre on the lower end. Which is kind of difficult to do. I would have to spend more time practicing, and I don't really do impressions. Sure, that's a term now. Yeah, it's definitely a term now. It totally works. And my candle went out. Boo. Well, looks like that one's done. So, what do you think, You neither? You took up smoking. You took up smoking? Oh well, choices are choices. You're good. So, what do you think? There's a whole morning to be had for Sam. Are they gonna dip out of town without saying goodbye to Mara? What do you think? Should they have that interaction, or should they disappear? No, say bye to Mara, at least leave a card. Okay. Or better yet, offer breakfast and then be like, call me if you need me. Sam wakes up in the morning and prepares to leave town. They'll say goodbye tomorrow and then head off to their next job. Sam and Mara, they spend most of the day catching up, but eventually, they both realize they have different lives now. Say goodbye to each other over breakfast, and Mara waves. Take care, traveler. And they walk away. Well, Sam did just make a pact with a tentacle creature, so that's fair, Mara. You know, you're right. That is totally fair. Sam calls out as they walk away. Call me if you need me. Mara waves, and they walk off into the distance, a new job ahead of them. Alright. So, what job are we headed for next week, Em? Where are we going? Are we just gonna let the AI dungeon pick for us? You look for a job on a local bounty board. Whispers of fake kidnapping children for what? No one knows. And find something about a rash of kidnappings. That's not yes-anding, AI dungeon. Okay. Sam takes the carriage to the next destination. You wake up in the morning and look for a job. There we go. You listen to the innkeeper describe the kidnappings. Come on. AI really didn't like that one. Sam listens to the innkeeper describe the kidnappings, but he says there have been few here. Most of them have happened further north. You thank the man and travel north. Boom. Bandits kidnapping people. Okay. Sam waits until they reveal the location of the current kidnapping victims. One in a cave and another in a more abandoned farmhouse. These bandits are smart. Spreading the people out like that, not just keeping them all in one place. Okay. Cool. Sam quickly cuts through the bandits with magic, leaving none alive. What you got for me, AI? What do you got? Cool, just agrees. Now it gets interesting. It's true. All right. So let's see. We've got a cave and a more abandoned farmhouse. Sam. Yes, that is what I just said. Just don't tell it back to me. Build up on it. Absolutely. Sam heads to the cave first. Eventually you see one that's been ravaged by bears. You search the cave for the kidnapped people. Sam wonders if the people were eaten by bears. Oh, voices coming from further down the cave. Yes. Okay, they're still alive. Sam sneaks to the back of the cave, searching for the source of the voices. Yes, it's the fork in the cave. Sam takes the left path. Yeah, terrible place to hide people. Cool. Sam releases the captives and tells them to stay as quiet as possible. Their eyes are painted red. Okay. Sam releases the captives from their bonds, which they seem to relieved to no longer be under. The woman stares at them with admiration. You must be... Let's see. What would her voice be? She's rough. She's been in the wilderness for days. Probably yelling a lot, but not really getting any water. Looking up at... You must be a powerful wizard to be able to cut through our binds so easily. Thank you. Sam hands her a water skin and urges the couple to leave the cave. Yeah, they were literally just rope. You're welcome. I don't know. Some of that thick rope is tough. Fucking... This is terrible dialogue. And urge the couple to leave the cave. We should leave this place. Find... Oh, do not need that. Find our way home. Have you eaten? Sam asks. Hello, Sharkers. Okay, Sam hands the couple enough rations to make it back to the village. It sends them on their way. Before exploring the other fork of the cave. You enough rest to move back to the village and send them on their way. All right. So, did Sharkers bounce out? I'm not sure. Viewers went up and down really quickly. Well, if you're still here, we're playing AI Dungeon, and this is Sam. You are still here. Great. My numbers on OBS aren't really accurate for some reason. So, thank you for still being here. I'm Corbin. It's nice to meet you. I like to practice voices, and I want to get into voice acting and reading audiobooks and things, so this is really good practice for me. Sam hands the couple enough rations to make it back to the village and sends them on their way before exploring the other fork of the cave. It seems to lead deeper into darkness. We have time to search this before we head to the farmhouse. Sam lights a small candle's worth of flame in their palm to see. And searches. No, they should say you, because AI Dungeon is. You light a small candle's worth of flame in your palm. Let's see. And search the rest of the cave. So what does Sam find? Turn your head slightly, notice the woman has already left. Alright. You leave the cave and head to the farmhouse. We're done here. Sam leaves the cave and heads to the farmhouse. You start off towards the abandoned home on the edge of the woods, hoping you can find something there. As you walk along, you noticed a few items strewn about the yard. Sam searches for the final kidnapping victims in the farmhouse, keeping an eye out for bandits. Can always come back later is true. You look around for a kidnapped couple, but they're not in the farmhouse. What, were there two couples? Two couples, yeah. Okay. Le gasp! They're not in the farmhouse. Sam searches for clues to their location. We gotta be real specific with AI Dungeon. The kidnapped couple's location. You do find a trapdoor in the floor. Seems like an odd place to put a trapdoor. Good call, and check if the farmhouse has a cellar there, Em. Well done. You open the trapdoor to the cellar, hoping the couple will be down there. Sam searches the farmhouse for clues, but finds nothing. They do, however, find a trapdoor in the floor. It seems like an odd place to put a trapdoor. As they bend down to open it, a bear attacks. A large brown bear charges out at you from the trapdoor. Sam screams as the bear bites into your arm. Why weren't the bears at the cave? You thought of it because in a one-shot you DM'd, you had a trapdoor in the barn. We almost set fire to the barn, though, so that took some casual working around without making it obvious. You were sweating. Werebear. Werebear. Sam screams at the pain of the bite. But it's not as deep as they expected. Sam looks at the bear and quickly realizes that it's not a normal bear. It's a werebear. No, you're not gonna. You immediately start to run away, screaming the whole time? What? No, we're not. The werebear, meanwhile, seems confused by your behavior. I'm confused by Sam's behavior. The AI really does have Sam pegged all wrong. Let's say pull away. A one-word change, and it kind of fixes it. Sam immediately starts to pull away, screaming the whole time. The werebear, meanwhile, seems confused by their behavior. Maybe them being here at all. Ooh, the werebear is one of the kidnapped couple. And they're escaping. Sam questions the werebear. Where are the kidnapped couple? And prepare to fight. Sam questions the werebear. Where are the kidnapped couple? And prepares to fight. The werebear doesn't reply. Instead, it sniffs the air. Suddenly, the bear leaps on your back, tears your throat out with its teeth. You collapse to the ground dead. What? No. That's not yes ending for a story AI dungeon. Let's not. Let's say suddenly the bear leaps on your back, and instead of this part, pushes you to the ground. A series of arrows whiz overhead and thunk into the farmhouse walls. AI really is off the rails. It doesn't want this story anymore. Sam hears a voice from the cellar. Don't hurt her. Man cries out. Escape. Sam hears a voice from the cellar.
Don't hurt her.
A man cries out.
We escaped and she's trying to protect me.
Sam turns their head around and spots the kidnapped man. Let's say freed man, huddled in the corner, terrified. He looks like he's been through hell. New story because I killed you. The AI probably. The werebear. You watch as the werebear rushes into the woods, tearing through the bandits that tried to capture her. After a few bloody moments of carnage, she returns. Slowly resuming a more human form. Alright. Sam watches as the werebear rushes in the woods, tearing through the bandits that tried to capture her. After a few bloody moments of carnage, she returns, slowly resuming a more human form. The man stands up, walks over to you and inspects your wound. He gently presses his hand over the bite, and his face contorts into a bit of a snarl. I'm sorry. You reply, "It's fine," and quickly cast a simple healing spell on yourself. That you two are free, and most of those bandits are gone or dead. We should probably head back to the village. "'Tis but a flesh wound. Your arm's off!" Monty Python for real. The man nods. Yes, of course." Sam walks over to the bear and hands her a few pieces of fruit. Always flirting, apparently. "Here, eat something." Sam watches as the woman, as the werebear in a human form tears into the fruit ravenously. It's always flirting with fruit. When is it not? It seems the werebear is famished. She devoured the fruit so quickly it's as if she's never eaten anything in her life. "Once I get a fire started, you can tell me your tale. But don't start fires in farmhouses or barns, especially if there's lots of hay around, 'cause the particulates floating in the air will set everything on fire. If you don't know. A very bad idea." You and the couple camp in the woods before heading back to camp in the woods. You listen to the werebear's tale of being kidnapped by bandits. Okay, this is your chance, AI Dungeon. I'm giving you a lot to roll on here. And really what it's going to do is it's just going to take the same sentence and throw it back at me. You spend the first 2 nights with the couple eating and drinking. They start off reluctant to talk, but relax into a conversation. Ooh. You gently press them for as much information about the bandits kidnapping them as possible. In return for their lives, the couple tell you where they think the bandits are hiding out. You take down the note they give you and head off towards the bandits' camp. They're gonna be fine. Okay. Sam sneaks to the bandits' camp. Sam sneaks through the trees, avoiding the camp guards. Once they reach the camp, they find 2 guards standing outside the tent, 1 on each side. Do we want to talk? No, we don't want to talk. Sam casts a flying spell. On themselves. Flies into the air and starts raining fire across the entire bandit camp. You fly and dodge many arrows before you arrive at the center of the camp. Sam continues mercilessly wiping the camp out. Maris Leslie. No. Mercilessly. Thank you. Someone's throwing a sword. Let's be real here. They're gonna try. Sam continues to wipe out the camp, and eventually only 2 bandits remain. The leader finally realizes you aren't going to give up, and reluctantly orders the last of his followers to attack. Sam drops the last. Sam's a little OP, but we want them to be. In a flash of light. Just the leader remains now. Sam faces off against the last bandit. He pulls out a pistol, because apparently we have pistols now, from his belt, and aims it at them. All right, you win. I'm the last one. Wait, where's my hand? Where's my hand? There's my. Go right about here. All right, there we go. All right. You win. I'm the last one. Sam nods. Good. Sam grabs the bandit by the leg. Here, guy, make it make sense. Sam knocks the bandit over and grabs him by the leg. You knocks? No, you knock. And grab. It takes a solid day of travel. But Sam drags the leader of the bandits all the way back to the village to stand trial. Because somebody's got to. Also, you need proof that you finished the job. Yay, we did the job. Everybody's excited. What's the word? It's Sam and that sweet, sweet NB power. Yes, it is. Sam locks the bandit in the local jail and what's the right words here? Goes to talk to the mayor. Heads to the mayor's office? No. Is there a mayor? Who's in charge? Head person. Head of the town. Heads to the head of the town. And goes to collect their lock the bandit in the local jail and go to collect your pay from the town's head. That should make sense. The AI might get confused, but it should make sense. Village elder. That's a good one. Sam walks in the town's mayor's house, who happens to be an old friend of their father. He looks up with a smile when he sees Sam. Oh, we don't have music anymore? Or I'm not hearing music. What's going on? There we go. You joke in greeting with the village elder. Hey, old man. Do you have music now? Sam jokes in greeting with the village elder. Hey, old man. Have you got my reward all lined up? Indeed I have, young sir, he smiles. 200 gold pieces, just for destroying the bandit camp. Do you want it in weekly pay or a lump sum? Sam smirks. A lump sum, of course, and remember, it's just Sam. Oh, great. Uh... Now I can't help but think of Sam Gamgee, and I don't know why. It's fully not the character, but it's stuck in my head. Only 200? Yeah. I mean, it depends on your economy, really. Because, like, if you're playing a high-cost game, where, like, you know, a gold will buy you food for a night, 200 is not a lot for a job like this. But if you're playing a low-cost game where, like, most people never see a gold piece and we're thinking, like, Dark Ages Europe, then, you know, 200 gold's a lot. It might bankrupt the town or be right on the edge of bankrupting the town, but worth it to get rid of the bandit problem, you know? I really need to shave before my next stream. Anyways, Sam has gold. Sam has completed a mission. It's so dapper. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of the facial hair. Like, it looks alright, but doesn't feel the best. For personal reasons. But that's okay. So let's see. It's been about an hour 45. Aw. Thanks. So, yeah, very similar. Very, very similar. It's just shaving is worse. Like, having facial hair and shaving it off are both equally, like, ugh, for me. So, I got you. Yeah, absolutely. But a chapter of it being just Sam, another one completed, right here, Control C, and we're gonna look for just Sam. No, not gonna come up. Okay, let's hit documents. No, not my document. It's under D&D. Yeah, it is. There we go. Just Sam. Boom. Head down here, all the way to the bottom. Wow, that's 9 pages from last week. This is impressive. Like, this is really good for getting lines out. All right, we're going from 9 pages. I'm pasting tonight's. Oops. Back up and paste just text. From 9 to 19 pages. That's like the most I've written. Even though the AI tried to kill me, we've survived another chapter. AI can't kill us when we can just edit it out. We've got our permanent save points. Save that. Wow, 20 pages. And I mean, like, it's a bit. It's a bit. But it's cool. So, that's there. This'll exist until next time. God tried to nerf me, so I edited him. Oh, that's so funny. What's the line? God gave me depression, or else I would have fist fought him at this point. Here. Um, Here it is. God gave me depression because if my ambitions went unchecked, I would have bested him in hand-to-hand combat by age 16. Ah, I remember that one. It's such a good one. Okay. This has been fun, Em. You're still a fan of I Will Face God and Walk Backwards into Hell? Drill, right? Drill? D-R-I-L? Is that? No, that's not quite right. No, it was. Drill. Before the trolls leak my finances, I'd just like to state for the record that I spent $6,000 in Dr. Mario World because I thought it'd be funny. Can't remember, but you want to use that in a thing at some point. I mean, it would be great. Could absolutely use it as a puzzle, and part of the puzzle being that you just like there's danger in front of you, and like wall of fire, lava everywhere. And if you're looking at it as you go to walk into it, you take damage. But if you're facing backwards and not looking at it, and you walk backwards, you don't take any damage. And like the only thing being the clues for it would be like some of the more famous lines from Drill. So something along the lines of here, let's hit 2021. No, let's go to 2014, see what it is. Like some people along the line saying like awfully bold of you to something, or that's a good one. The wise man bowed his head and solemnly and spoke. There's actually zero difference between good and bad things, you imbecile. You fucking moron. Like, have that line up on the wall in, like, fancy plaqued letters on the opposite side of the room from all the fire and, like, lava fall and traps and everything. Ooh, Vampire the Masquerade? That would be cool. I've heard of some vampire-themed games going really, really well with tabletop. So, what do you like to do? Because you said you were DMing, so you must have at least a couple people. How's that going? You've only watched streams and they're great, but you have no books. Okay. Well, I mean, like, I'm sure you can find some online, PDFs and stuff, because technically you don't really need anything, just some basic rules, just to have an idea to go off of, especially if you want to build it all yourself. You know what I mean? Because, like, especially with D&D, like, everybody's always like, you gotta have all the books, you gotta have the things to do it. You used a bad word? You mean you DM'd in the woods in 2017? I don't understand. Oh, mods. Yeah, it's got to be auto mods. I have some auto mods on, which, you know, is just for the basic stuff. And it's been kind of useful. It's like, oh, watch out for it a little bit, but easy enough to get past. Oh no, was Drill the Skeleton War meme originator? Oh no. Oh no. 2014, the Skeleton War originates from a tweet by weird Twitter prophet Drill. Oh no. You were like, F it, because you brought your books with me to the backcountry. Oh, gotcha. I don't really know a lot about the Skeleton War, just that it was a huge meme, and a lot of people did a lot with it. But yeah, totally a thing. If you can probably find just the basics for the game mechanics and then riff off like everything else for your Vampire the Masquerade bit. Like, as long as people are having fun, it doesn't really matter. And I mean, like, this is coming from somebody who owns a lot of D&D books for 5th edition. And like, you don't necessarily need them, they're just fun and useful. So, it was your crew that you were DMing for. They had a lot of fun, and the power trip was wild. Yeah, that's totally fair. Sometimes you just gotta have that. You just want to play a little first before you try and DM for it. That can be done. Okay, you want to have an idea first, and that's a totally fair way to go about it. Like, I wanted to play games as a player before I DM'd myself, and I got a couple in with D&D before being an almost forever DM, and then eventually meeting B and Chad, which is great because then I wasn't forever DM anymore. Yes. Speaking of which, the notifications can be a lot, but you can mute them. You should just hop in the Discord chat and yell at people. Like, whatever you feel like it. Because they would go absolutely fucking wild to hear from you. But I know Discord can be a lot for people because there's so many notifications. So a lot of stuff I just instantly mute it all for forever until I turn it back on. Because, like, it would be... literally right after you're always off at night, your schedule went all over the place. You haven't even texted Chad yet. No. It'll catch up. Yeah. But, like, there's no need to sit and like have long conversations. You can just be like, hey, I had a couple minutes free. I'm messaging you all because I miss you. It's nice to like to be able to read on the things you're doing and to hear from you and, you know, try and catch up. But, you know, no pressure. Do what you gotta do. I'm not stressed about it. Because, like, I remember you were doing a lot with state parks work. I don't know if you're still doing that down in Oregon. And that can be really busy because full-time jobs are a lot. Just take up everything. Well, I mean, sure, it would be nice to have a longer, like, drawn-out conversation and all that sort of thing. But if that's not an option, then, like, any amount of communication is preferred to none, you know what I mean? So, like, fuck, the other day, I sent a friend that I hadn't talked to in years just a random, like, oh, this thing that happened made me think of a thing that you did when we were little that I didn't even remember or had the memory of. And I was just like, this is a thing. It was cool. From way back. Just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you, remember things. We chatted for like 3 minutes, and then I was like, okay, good night, and bounced. Conservation Corps member for 2 years, and he worked in Alaska, which is cool, for a touring company. Then a ski resort at South Lake Tahoe, and now a grocery store in Oregon. That's a pretty varied list. Nice. It's a lot. And you got to travel doing it, so I bet you got to see a bunch of cool places. Yes, that kind of thing absolutely exists. For real. Just be like, use my stream. Just be like, hey, I was hanging out with Corbin in the Twitch chat, and they were like, everybody would love to hear from you, misses you, so I'm hopping in with the time that I got. I'm saying hi, love you guys, I'm gonna try and talk to you more, and we'll catch up soon. And everybody will be like, and go wild when they eventually see it, and it'll be fucking great. You'll make their weeks. And there's no requirement to have like long drawn out conversations, because we all get it. We've all been there. You do put obligations on yourself. Everybody does it. Sometimes we need to just be like, fuck that. We like the people we like. We want to let them know. Little things, that's enough. Yeah, absolutely. You got this. Oh, it's so exciting. I love it. Okay. I'm really glad you're going to hit up everybody in the chat. And when they do see it, because it's late for them at this point. Let's see, it's 8 for us, so it's 11 for them. A couple of them will still be up, because night owls. Little Misfortune voice? I'm going to do it. Who? Little Misfortune? I have no idea what that is. I'm going to look at it. And put my headphones back on. Yeah, DS&D server is the best way to go. Oh, it's a game. Little Misfortune, I pick only the bad choices. Okay. It's a great game. Good to know. There's a newsletter, a Twitter, stuff on Reddit. Cool. Your partner's creeped out by how well you can do her voice. That's fair. It's fun. Good. You should at everybody in the chat so they for sure get a notification. When they see it, they'll yell, which is great. And surprise your partner with doing that voice sometime for me. Just say hello. Nice to meet you. It's very similar, but a softer version of voice you had ready for a gnome barbarian. Cool. So I've seen you play halfling. Well, Gil was halfling rogue, right? Tiny rogue? You didn't know show tiny barbarian? You hit him with it every day. If you got it, use it. Halfling rogue, gnome barbarian. You like the tiny characters then. I would imagine you would love to play like a literal pixie wild magic sorcerer. Like, that just seems, for some reason, just came to me and it seems right up your alley. Like, literal, like, you have a Dragonborn male paladin with a super voice that you want at some point. I'd love to hear them all. What do you use for your characters? Like, I use on my phone Fight Club 5e. So like, check this out. Both for DMing and for characters I actually play. And I find the art online, but I just use it for myself. And it's just so I can keep track of who's who. Yes, that is a literal cat who is a wizard, an awoken cat wizard named Fidget. And I love him. And there's Yanni. Like, lots of characters. Even made a me at some point. But there's lots of them. Oh god, it still goes further. Hey, look, it's the Riddick, the rogue barbarian. Dark elf rogue barbarian. It's Fight Club 5e. That's what it's called for my iPhone app that I use it on. 1 second, I'll see if they have something else. Fight Club 5th edition is an app on Google Play, so you can get it on your phone. And then when you do, you want to look for XML file downloads to get all of the details that you want. But yes, it is. I will type in chat here. Images, Fight Club 5e. And we're going to go like, where's window capture? Go back to live scene. Window capture. Properties. And he's not popping up. Here, I'll just type in chat. There you go. That should be enough for you to find it. You're well versed in the internet. I love it. It's worked for me for a long time. But it's 8. We're getting to the end of my streaming time. So, it's been a ton of fun. Awesome. Bookmarked, you got it. It's been a ton of fun. I always love hanging out. I hope I can see you next Thursday. We can either go more on Sam adventures or figure out something else. But playing with Sam is fun. Yeah. I'm gonna go take care of nightly things. But I'll catch you on Discord. See you all online. And hopefully I'll see you next week. And I hope you have a good week. Good night. And also thank you to everybody else who showed up and watched the stream a little bit. Good night to y'all too. Yeah. See you then. Mouse. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse.